looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Oh right, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. While you chase the crust and I take the lead. Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on the name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm a VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, all in your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Hey, brother. I knew you wouldn't want to miss this one tonight.
Well, you know, it's just one of, hey, everybody, by the way. Hi, how's everybody doing?
Greetings,
nice to be here. You know, it's just one of, again, 3D life. That's just how it goes. I missed out on everything. I guess Expert did. I didn't realize that this, oh my God, that this whole thing came out. I only caught like a very brief portion, like at the end of Tugs before he started doing all of his super chats and all that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Are you serial? So
it's
yeah,
good.
it'll be. I can't wait to start going over this whole thing. I didn't get a chance to watch anything Expert either, and then I'm like, holy crap! I was almost late here. Well, I was late here.
No, you were on time. You were perfectly on time. It was beautiful.
Well, I know, but I know you like to try and get me all lubed up beforehand. But
well, you know, I can only give you so much Vaseline before you start liking it. You know?
Well, you know, like I said in there. So it sounds like somebody's going to need some lube.
Yes. Thank you so much, Max Lab, and thank you so much for sending that to me today, because I was in the middle of putting something else together. It's crazy that I was trying to do. It's just like Wender Bender. Look at her. She is just excited for you. You get those uteruses just lined all back up again. Right there.
If I'm the one that gets you all
your bed.
excited and you're looking forward to spending your evening with, I can't help you. You are up shit creek. I'm not your savior.
But she says, what could be better than an evening with Shizzy and Yamaha? Thank you. No. I mean, I sat down and I created an intro because I was like, I'm going to start doing some videos, and this shit dropped at the same time, and I was just like, holy crap. So tell me, do you like this little intro? Just be honest about it now. Is this a good intro?
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Is that not cool?
Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I like it. I like that badger. I think that was such a cool idea when you started going through those badgers. I just like
God, yes.
that whole. It's got almost like that 300 look, you know.
Oh, I know. It wasn't wasn't even intentional. It just happened. Damn it, Welsh lady. She's like, not as excited as me.
Oh, my red dragon lady.
You know, she just gets you. Just you know, she fires you up in ways that I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Those
Any day of
dragons,
the
whenever
week,
they
I'd
collide.
sleep in the wet spot. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, did I say that out loud again? I shouldn't have said that out loud. I say so many things, or my fingers just start. My fingers runneth over, and I type things I shouldn't say.
No, so I actually was just like, all right, I'm going to work on an intro so I can start doing like the nice little stories and have like all of and just a nice. So if you see that intro, you know that I'm going to be either dropping a letter, I'm going to be dropping something in a case, and it's going to be just it's going to be a straight up video. Mm-hmm. And so I released the video on this today, and I figured, tonight I would break it down just a little bit more, because the judge is really absolutely pissed off at this. I mean, he has made it very clear he is not happy at all. And I even wrote a letter for it. Yeah. I mean, I took time out of my work day to write two distinct letters tonight.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're going to have all kinds of fun tonight. Well, like it's like what we said before. We talk about these things. Mm-hmm. And I can't really answer for anybody else. You never know what you're going to get. Like a box of chocolates, So, but, and I'm sure a lot of people have figured this out in the law tube arena, if you will. You see all kinds of crazy things. And then a lot of times I have to go by what my experience is around the judicial system and law enforcement and EMS and all that shit too, and apply, because you can't. I mean, look at Judge Grudge and what happened there. I mean, that was just a complete. Look at what's going on with the Karen Reed thing and the debacle that is, and then this shit show here. Yeah. So you can't necessarily just write it, because there are things that you may not see or understand.
Well, and there will be
perspectives and everybody's
and there's things also going on behind the scene. You don't know if he's reached out to both of these attorneys, and he's said something to them, and you don't know all the stuff behind the scenes. And I know that from experience, because working in a law firm, you get stuff that comes in from a judge, and a judge is just like sitting there going, okay, this is what's going to happen, and I'm just giving you the heads up so you guys get prepared for it, and then files the order or files the motion. So the judge might have had an actual sit down with these guys. Well,
and not just that, but going back to on that train of thought, what I was saying was that through all that, there are telltale signs that you can see.
Yes.
And like we said last night, and like we said after it initially happened, you have a judge who is putting in their order the fact that they are going on Expedia and taking that time to compare airline tickets. That's a huge, I mean, there are just some huge red flags.
Oh, the red flags are about to shine for you tonight, brother. They are
that should
about
have been
to
a
shine.
huge red flag then.
Oh, this one gets better because he basically says the defendants have filed 4 motions for attorney's fees under 28 USC 1927. The motions all seek the exact same thing. He's like, and he says, and should have been filed in one motion. Thus, the 4 motions, 104, 105, 116, he struck every single one of them. He was just like, no, I'm done. The court is tired of both attorneys now, and he's chastising both because he has to be unbiased in this.
Right.
But he's made it very clear that defendants have filed 4 motions. Court is tired of both attorneys. This case clogging the docket, unnecessary, duplicative, and meritless filings. The quantity of judicial resources, we talked about this the other night, that have been consumed by this case is ridiculous. This simple one plaintiff, Jeremy Hales, 2 defendants, defamation case has 117 docket entries. And so this means that he read Bruce's latest filing. That filing came in and he ruled on this because he doesn't strike 117 on this. Has 117 docket entries and discovery has not even been completed yet.
Exactly. And you can try and find that and pull that up. But I remember a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
He had already stated essentially, to break it down, I essentially don't want to see or hear of or from you until discovery. Which, of course, Bubbles blew out his ass and defied the court on that one as well. But and as far as I understand what Bolitho is doing and trying to walk that line and trying to appear to be unbiased and so forth, but the egregious behavior in this is not equative.
No.
If Randy gets in trouble, Bubbles should be crucified. He should be drawn, quartered, and crucified. I mean, you just.
Oh yeah. Well,
he is above and beyond. 118. I can't believe this shit. 118.
Well, you have to understand that the reason Randy's been answering these kinds of pleadings is because of the bullshit that he's putting out. You at some point you just have to call this bullshit out and say, listen, Your Honor, I mean, he's filed like 4 filings and none of them are correct. I mean, he's telling the court that we've had these emails or these voice conversations that he's only telling you half of what we've talked about. And we're going to get into that tonight also. Because and I get it, and I get it too, because you do. It becomes an autonomic response to self-preservation or self-defense. You got this bumbling fucking clown over here just spewing all kinds of bullshit, and your autonomic instinct is to want to defend that. So you kind of lose sight, because if Bubbles is just getting his narrative out there and his bullshit thrown out there, and Randy isn't responding to that, I'm trying to see from his point of view, then it looks like he's acquiesced.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he's saying. If Randy doesn't respond, could the judge, defense lawyer say Jeremy Hale's acquiesced? In certain cases, absolutely. he could view it as him not responding. Now the judge, and I will say this, that I believe that whenever the judge brings both of these fellas in, because we're not going to hear any of this isn't something that we're going to be privy to. This is going to be the judge pulling them both inside. He's going to be setting them down. He's going to want to hear both sides of the story. He's going to say, what is going on here with this? What is going on with this? What is going on with this? What is going on with this? Have you completed discovery? Have you turned over the files, Randy? Have you turned over this information? So, I mean, and one of the things that I think would behoove Randy would be to, because he's tried working this out outside of court filings, of giving him, Jeremy, the files, Jeremy's files, to Bruce, but he doesn't trust that Bruce isn't going to get online or hook up with his little what do they call those things, journalists? They're not journalists, trust me. Get on with them and start opening up, what do you call it, a cock washer? Yes. He's going to blab every single thing about their business and attack their business anymore. And of course, Bruce is saying, well, you can just take my word for it. Well, his word is shit right now.
Yeah.
And so I would be taking his word, and I mean, I'm just saying, if I was Randy, what I would be asking the court is, I need to have something that's going to sanction the ever living hell out of him. And that may be what this conversation ends up being. It may end up being that Randy says, Your Honor, I'm absolutely fine turning over these documents to counsel, but I have no faith, as you can see by what he's done already. He doesn't keep it between the attorneys. And I feel that my client's business is going to be attacked even more because of this attorney. And then on top of that, you also have the proof that he has said, I want to destroy this man's YouTube empire. I want to destroy this man. Whenever Randy brings that stuff up to him, I guarantee you the judge is going to be like, wait a second, back up here. Explain to me why you think that he's going to destroy it. And he's going to whip out all that proof, and he's going to say, Your Honor, these are the email communications we have. This is him attacking me publicly, and I have not said anything. I have not said a single damn word publicly about this attorney. But this attorney has gone on YouTube channels. He's gone here. He's gone there. He's telling people what to say. He's copying them in emails. Your Honor, I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to hand over, private information that could possibly destroy this man's business, and you're not even going to sanction him over it?
No.
I mean, that's
that.
where he sits.
I get that. But then the court, and technically, discovery works both ways.
Well, and Bruce hasn't handed over discovery at all.
Right. Yeah.
He hasn't handed any of the information that's been asked of him. And Randy doesn't release any of that information with those communications, because that's between.
Is this me? Is it me? Oh, you're.
Am I
speak again?
Funky?
Yeah.
What happened?
I think it's your mic.
All right, give me a second.
You're cracking up, and.
All right, I'll be right back.
He's having a stroke again. Well, hello, everybody. I guess it's just us now. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there was a clown. Oh, okay, never mind.
What did you do with the clown?
Nothing. Everything's fine. Well, and here's the funny thing. Speaking of clowns, well, not really. I don't want to equate them on that level, but I was kind of. I'll go back later on and watch the Expert too. Expert is such a goofball, but the funny thing about Expert that I don't.
Don't give away any secrets.
Well, I know, but he's got a persona. All right, I won't go too far into it. He's a lot smarter than you think. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
He's a lot smarter than you think.
Yes.
He is very, yeah.
Yeah, he's got
very good at portraying Bubba Gump.
So, okay, the court hereby notifies counsel that at the hearing previously scheduled for April 3rd, 2025, the court will also be addressing whether both attorneys, and he's saying, as he says here, both attorneys should be sanctioned for their continual abuse of the judicial process and unprofessional litigation conduct. And of course, I pull up this little sub note. It says, and the judge is very specific. Oh, tug and bug raid. Oh my gosh.
No,
Emma Washington. Oh, I hope the bug is doing good. I mean, he's got bugs right now. Did you hear that? Tug
everybody.
He's got bees in his bonnet. I mean, he has bees in his house.
No way.
Yes, he's got a nest somewhere.
Oh, they found a nest? Oh.
Well, they haven't found it yet. Thank you so much.
Well,
Right there
they put that the deal that registers the heat signatures, and they'll find that sucker because those suckers get warm.
Oh, yeah, they're here, Tug.
Holy crap!
Welcome,
really?
Tug Raiders.
Thank
you so much for coming by. Yeah, it does, and they're the endangered bees. So you find what you do is you find somebody that actually handles.
Oh, they're like regular honeybees.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
well, okay.
So what you do is you find somebody that has beehives, and you have them come out there, and they will collect every damn one of them. they will collect those things like crazy. They'll draw those things out, and they'll be happy to do it. It's awesome. Welcome,
right. Well, I understand that, but I mean, thinking about that, depending on the size of the thing, how long it's been there, who knows? I mean,
well, you said
some of those, you go to rip those walls open, and holy crap!
Yeah,
the hive that is in there is just mind-boggling.
Well, and that's what he suspects too.
And then you got to go through and clean all that shit up and repair everything. So it all depends.
Well, and also you got to get rid of the honey, or else you'll end up with more insects.
Oh yeah, you got to get rid of all. You got to clean all that. Oh.
It sucks. Tugs and thugs and bugs. Raid. Thank you so much, Angel. How you doing? It is so good to see you. She always has the most attractive little pictures there of herself, doesn't she? What a lovely lady. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That one was for you. Gotcha right on the side of my helmet. That always sounds dirty whenever I say that. You know that? Thank you so much. So he basically says the judge will be addressing at the hearing all of which appear to be possible violations of Federal Rule Civil Procedure 11 because they were frivolous and or presented for improper purposes. Now he's also going after Randy's because he's saying plaintiff's motion. So defendant's motion for reconsideration, he's going for defendant's motion of reconsideration, two of them, which you have to understand these are basically the same document. Plaintiff's motion to dismiss counterclaim, and also plaintiff's motion to dismiss counterclaim. He thinks that they were improper. They were frivolous and or presented for improper purposes. So he's going to address all of those documents, and we can always go over those at another time. Tonight is not the night because we've got so much to cover. Lawyers and as officers of the court will and almost always do behave appropriately after being warned, and he warned them. Thus, the court has tried to cajole compliance with the rules in other ways and has been patient with counsel. That obviously has not worked. Instead, the attorneys in this case have taken advantage of the court's patience and abused the judicial process no more. So he's put his foot down. The Judge Plant, Potted Plant is pissed. Yes, exactly, right, John. Yeah. Defendants may refile, and now this is really important. He says defendants, that would be Bubbles, may refile a single motion for attorney's fees under 28 USC 1927. And he also states plaintiff may respond to that motion. Plaintiff may also respond as previously ordered by Doc 113. Now, Doc 113 is the judge saying that he has to have something filed tomorrow by noon. That's what the judge is telling him. Cutie patootie, tug and bug raid. Well, thank you so much, Mama Bearley. It is so good to see you. How are you doing?
And welcome,
Man,
everybody.
oh man. We get all the lovely ladies in here. It's because of you, Yamaha.
Wow.
They're just like, I stopped having children a couple of years ago, but I'm ready to start again.
My ovaries is buzzing.
They're buzzing like Tug's walls.
I think it's more or less they just like to hear the stupid shit I say, and they like to laugh at me laughing. So
they're trying to get you, aren't they, tonight?
That's what it comes down to.
Thank you, Mama Barely. I appreciate you. But other than those two filings, it's actually three filings. Neither party may submit any additional filings, barring an emergency situation. Now, he has a footnote on this particular one where he says, barring an emergency situation, because down here he says, if the parties claim something is an emergency situation and the court finds it is not, then the offending lawyer will be sanctioned. Like, he has put his foot down. And in this case, and now he says, barring an emergency situation, in this case, until after the hearing on April 3rd, 2025. So he believes that whenever he has these attorneys, both of them sitting there in his chambers or in the courtroom, that he is going to bring out the rules and he's going to lay them down. And he expects he doesn't expect to have to file something like this ever again. That's what he's saying. Oh, she says, nope, I got a playground.
And that's, and I mean, this is so crazy, like what you were saying. I mean, we're going to end up having to, one of these days, potentially, just go back through each, because you get so lost in all this. I mean,
Yes.
you got Doc 113, Doc 87, fucking Uncle Fester's letters of feelings or whatever. And all this shit just becomes one big turbulent
I'm giving her a
fog
star
patch,
right here.
and you just get lost.
Yamaha.
And I don't,
You hear what? Do you see what Mama Barely is
No,
saying?
I got a playground, not a playground.
She said she is unbarred, brother. She is wanting to just unleash on you. I'm just here for Yamaha's giggles. I know
What
you
ask
are.
for.
You're gonna get Yamaha giggles. You just got to try really hard to get Yamaha to giggle. That's the thing. you can do it.
Once I get in there, I'm like herpes. I pop up. You think I'm gone? I pop up every once in a while just to wink at you and say hi and let you know I'm still there. I thought I got rid of this asshole. Oh no.
Janice Wingfield with $9.99 says, Deuce Foreskinny, ambulance chaser, thinks he's above reproach by the judge, thinks he can do no wrong, always has to have. And I was going to say the exact same thing. This was my thought also. It is last word syndrome. That is exactly correct, because Bruce always feels that he has to have the final word.
Yep.
Like no argument is complete until he says the last word. And it's about to get him. Rumpled Manskin will get his that spanking new special bracelets and a new girlfriend, Bubba. No, I don't think that the judge is going to throw him in jail.
Excuse me. If he shows up, I think it'll just go to this length here. like I said last night, it's hard to say. He would be absolutely stupid not to.
Yeah. But he is absolutely stupid.
Especially at this point. If he's so dumb that he can't see, well, even up to this point before this came out, he's clearly stupid enough to where he couldn't see the writing on the wall. But after this, if he doesn't show up, he's a, oh my God.
Yeah, if he doesn't show up, he's asking to be hurt.
He's fucking done.
Well,
he's asking to have he's asking to have SRD kick his fucking door in and take him out of the job.
All right. You see what time it's getting to be? See what's getting time it's getting to be.
Oh, it's Hemet time.
Well, this is him at number one. We're about to kick this thing in there.
Zach. Oh, exactly. Yeah, I'm not just your piece of meat.
Oh, yes. Iron Rabbit. Yes, he did. And we're going to be going over that later. We're going to be going over that right after this next letter. We just got to get the music all queued up. Oh, buddy.
All righty.
All right. You got your stuff ready. Y'all geared up.
Are strapped. Oh, yeah.
Your depends are all strapped
I'm already.
up. All right. Here we go.
An open letter to Bruce Bubbles Matzkin, a.k.a. the litigious lawn gnome who mistook Microsoft Word for bazooka. Oh, Brucey, my guy. There comes a point in every collapsing circus where even the clowns start asking if maybe, just maybe, they've taken things too far. Or when you're sitting around playing with your monkey and playing on a fiddle while watching Rome burn. You passed that point about 60 filings ago. And yet, like a gas station rotisserie hot dog that somehow keeps spinning long after the power's been cut, you just won't stop. Oh my God. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. You've created so much turbulent bullshit. You've become like one of those perpetual motion machines. You've outlived logic, decency, and now apparently judicial patience. Really. I've seen desperate. I've seen unhinged. Yeah, I've seen monkeys throwing shit at a wall and people doing crazy things like Picasso poo paintings in padded cells. And I've seen attorneys make fools of themselves in court. But your latest antics make ambulance chasing look like Supreme Court advocacy. Congratulations. You've turned a basic two-defendant defamation case into a circuit so bloated and dysfunctional, even Judge Bolitho, who bent over backward to not drop the hammer, just slammed the gavel on your nonsense like Thor swinging his hammer. Let's talk about the judge's latest order, shall we? That, Bruce, is the sound of a federal judge telling you he's done. Not mildly annoyed. Not asking politely. Fucking done. 4 motions for attorney's fees struck. Wasted judicial resources called out. Repeated courtroom antics called out and for what they are. Unprofessional and abusive, and not in a vague, wrap it in a footnote kind of way. Judge Bolitho just struck 4 of your attorney's fee motions because you couldn't even consolidate them into a single filing. You weren't arguing different issues, Bruce. You were spamming the federal docket like a Nigerian prince with a fax machine. And the best part, that same judge, clearly sick of your copy-paste crusade, called out both lawyers, said you've abused the judicial process, acted unprofessionally, and then told you to bring your checkbook to court.
That he did.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Oh, yeah. When a federal judge tells you to bring your wallet to a sanctions hearing, oh, someone's going to need some lube. That's not a polite invitation either. If they tell you from the onset he's going to fuck you dry, that's the litigation version of bend over. Oh, see, that's the litigation version of bend over. Here it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in, Bubbles.
Deep. Really deep.
Take a big, deep breath, because it's going to pinch a little. You're now the gold standard for bad behavior. The new bar for courtroom clownery. The guy law clerks are going to joke about in whispered tones like urban legends of the dumbest bar exam answers. And for what? What did all this scorched earth theater get you? You've duplicated motions like a fax machine with a seizure. You've color-coded. Oh, yeah, I never even saw that part. Oh, I heard about that. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
You've color-coded deposition transcripts like you were submitting a crayon-based art project to the ABA. See, crayons can be dangerous. That's why I don't use them. I just eat them. And let's not pretend this was strategy. He was flailing. Yes, just like those death throes that I'd been talking about. Mm-hmm. A toddler with a keyboard could have filed more coherent pleadings, and they wouldn't have used 1927 like it was a personal vendetta hotline. You should be proud, Brucey. That's not easy. It takes a special kind of artard, a kind of stone-deaf, scorched-earth keyboard warrior litigant to earn that kind of judicial scorn. You managed to turn Rule 11 into a drinking game. Like the ugly college girl that people bring to a party on a dare. Motion to reconsider? Shot. Duplicative filings? Shot. Filing for sanctions over invoices you forgot to pay, then weaponizing it into a tantrum about who ordered the fucking transcript. Double shot. Oh, that sweet little double tap. Then you threw in a bonus motion to dismiss with enough hypocrisy to drown a jury pool. Oh. Let's go back to the deposition transcript you filed with your last filing. You didn't just misquote.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that motherfucker fucking... You ripped lines from context like a TikTok conspiracy theorist and glued them into your motion like a bad ransom note. That was the only thing missing, really.
Yes.
Cut and paste from a magazine. Jeremy Hales didn't threaten you. He got frustrated being cornered by questions designed to provoke, not illuminate. You called his statements tirades. The court called them unproductive. But what you did? That was manipulation. And the judge smelled it from Tallahassee to Timbuktu, along with the vast majority of the rest of us that could see and smell your bullshit long ago.
Oh, yeah.
And yet, you had the gall to whine in your filings that you've been practicing 27 years and never seen your name in an order. Buddy, you fucking earned this one. That order wasn't a fluke. That was the court saying, grow the hell up, in gavel speak. What did you expect after behaving like a deranged Reddit mod with a JD? This, I've been a lawyer for 27 years, shtick is great. So was Lionel Hutz. You think tenure immunizes you from scrutiny. You think experiences excuse throwing 4 duplicative tantrums on the docket instead of one coherent argument. That's not seasoned counsel. That's delusion with a resume. You weaponized emotions for sanctions like they were Monopoly get-out-of-jail cards. You tried to bury the court in paper cuts and bad faith posturing. And the only one that is dying by 1,000 cuts is you. And you genuinely seemed shocked when the judge finally said, enough. You even accused the other side of clogging the docket while you were the one carpet bombing it with recycled legal vomit.
Yes.
Your latest filings are so tone deaf. They make Nickelback lyrics look like constitutional theory.
Throw it in there.
Oh my God. You knew the judge's orders warned everyone. You knew your conduct had already raised eyebrows. And what did you do? Well, I think it's debatable. He's so fucking retarded, it apparently didn't even dawn on him. Filed another boilerplate tantrum and tried to make, but Randy's mean too. Your defense. You've taken the court's patience and curb stomped it like it owned you rent. Like it owned you rent money. Jesus. Where's my money, bitch? Because now we're headed for April 3rd. And what was once your fishing expedition for sanctions has turned into the main event. The court is taking you to task, in person, checkbook in hand, to explain why you shouldn't be sanctioned. And brother, oh, he means it. He is gonna pound you hard. This isn't a procedural slap. This is a judicial can of whoop-ass and a big old fucking dick slap right between your eyes, with your name on the lid. This isn't just some footnote of shame anymore. You've made yourself the main character in a bar exam question about how not to conduct litigation. And you know what the judge told you? When counsel for both parties shows up for the hearing on April 3rd, 2025, they must bring their checkbooks. Checkbooks. Well, you've been begging for attention all year, Bruce. Congrats. Oh, you got it now. Now the judge isn't just looking at your filings. He's looking at you. The big fish you thought you were chasing, well, it's turned and it's bringing sanctions. You should have quit while you were behind. You should have stayed in Albania or wherever the fuck it was that you were.
Wherever he got his mail order bride from.
So bring it, Brucey. Bring that tired script. Bring your printouts, your color-coded tantrums, and every buzzword-laden footnote you can muster. Because on April 3rd, the bench is done being patient, and the bill for your bullshit is due. Mm-hmm. This is what happens when litigations become performance art for clout. When you pretend every filing is a YouTube takedown video instead of an actual motion with legal merit. You didn't just throw gas on the fire, you our little monk. You doused yourself and ran into the courtroom screaming, "It's the other guy's fault!" But I think he likes to get pissed on, so maybe that's what he's hoping for. I don't know.
Maybe so.
Some people like that. You want attention, Brucey? You got it, motherfucker. But now the curtain's closing. The spotlight's turned, and all that's left is a federal court ready to drop the hammer on your antics. The party's over, Bubbles. Bring your checkbook. Respectfully disrespectful. Shizzywhiznut, clerk of the chaos, lord of laughs, and still your daddy.
Oh, yes!
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else can read those.
And I don't know what happened last night, but I went through to try to go back through, like I said before, and watch our transcripts. And then I had to leave, and then I went to come back, and it said, "Oh, the live chat for the stream is unavailable." Well, what? I missed out on chats.
I didn't have it turned on.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh.
Yeah, it's my fault. I take the blame for that. It was
you better
my
make
fault.
sure that's on tonight, because I want to see this shit.
It is on tonight. It is on tonight.
I definitely want to go back and see what the chat's saying about this shit.
Yes, the chat is loving this stuff. They find this the most glorious stuff.
Oh yeah, they love your letters, man. I just whatever. I'm not the talent here. I just whatever. I just read.
You are more than the talent.
I'm like that I'm like that ugly monkey or psychopath that you want to lock up in a glass case and just break out in, case of war or love letters.
All right, I'm gonna show you really quick what I was talking about in this, because it's very important that I explain this in the most difficult way that I can possibly do, because Steve wrote. Oh, without a doubt, I have been very clear about that from the beginning.
Do I have a face for radio? I make children weep and women run screaming into the night, and not because they're excited.
He is literally scared grown men out of their pants.
Hey, you need to rephrase that. I
Well, I wasn't the one running around as a headless horseman and
well,
scaring
okay,
grown
all right,
men.
yeah, I did like doing the fart box finger punch, but no, intake is not the
So
You
so
don't do that
here's
anymore. You just have 'em squat and
here's what that is talking about. If you watch, it starts out simple and then he just fills up every single thing with a fucking with highlighting all of this stuff.
Holy
Okay?
shit!
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, no,
And what is it? 300 and some odd pages of
Yes.
scribbling bullshit.
Well, and here's the thing. He's just going and
Well,
I'll-
it fits.
here-
He's got a lot
here-
of the colors of the rainbow in there.
Let me pull this thing out right here. And I'll just point this one out right here. Well, this is me endeavoring to make the remainder of the deposition productive, and if so, and Randy says, if you want to go off the record and discuss this, he says, no. This is particularly for the record, and that this is, you have not controlled your client. Your client has gone on many tirades, and you're indecipherable bullshit. And he says, hey, Mr. Shockett, may I speak? May I speak? He says, no, I'm getting the magistrate on the phone right now on the record. Hang on. Because he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He just kept on and on and on and on and on. And every time that he would say, listen, I'm just going to call the magistrate because you cannot contain yourself. This is what drug their ass in court. This all this shit right here that he's bitching and moaning about, because there's at one point in time he misquoted what Jeremy had in his affidavit. He wouldn't complete what the note was. It was all that shit right there that he is going to be bitching about in this next document. No, you think I'm done? 324 pages of him going through and highlighting and entering it in as an exhibit. Okay? 324 pages of him highlighting shit and putting it in the exhibit. Yamaha's face scares the men out of their pants, but his voice gets women out of theirs.
It is a double-edged sword. Two birds, one
double-edged
stone. I like this one. This one's funny. Oh, where'd he go? I just responded to him. Where'd you go? Now he's trying to run and hide from. Oh, John Loomis. John Loomis. Oh, where did you go? Was Yami Biker in The Water Boy by any chance? Well, I was a stand-in, but they thought I was too authentic. So
Exactly. Oh, that's awesome. So this next document that he files is another motion to dismiss, except he does this under FRC P41 and for sanctions. Of course, he has to throw the sanctions in there because he's a broke-ass bitch. That's why he keeps throwing this shit in here. Counsel threatening sanctions casually as a matter of course has no place among officers in the courts. You haven't even drafted this threatened motion that would require you to do some research into which you will see that you were wrong. Thus, your conduct on display here threatens the civility and professionalism on which the rules in the court rely to resolve disputes. Should I read that again?
yes,
What he
please.
says, this is what Randy Shockett says. He says, son, counseling them there threatening sanctions casually or as a matter of course has no place among officers in the court. You haven't even drafted this threatened motion that would require you to do some research here into that there which you see, that which you are wrong. Thus, your conduct on display here threatens this here civility and professionalism on which the rules of the court rely to resolve disputes. Now, see, Bruce thinks that he's being all big hot shit by filing this and putting this as a pretext because, Randy's just like, listen, dude, you're wrong. And you're threatening these sanctions. And if you keep it up, I am going to come back and I'm going to hurt you. Now, this is also, note the date, November 11th, 2024. Okay? The court's order in which Doc 43 was precipitated by the deposition of the plaintiff on December 2nd, 2024, in which the plaintiff spent most of 5 hours going on lengthy, non-responsive tirades. Okay, so what he's talking about is the deposition in which he was being an asshat, asking questions that were irrelevant to anything to do with this, and Jeremy answering the questions as he was asking those questions. If you don't believe me, you can go back and you can read the deposition yourself. It has been filed with the court. It is clearly there. You can read through the whole thing, so that way you don't take it out of context, unlike a couple of fat chicks that can't stop smacking their gums on fucking streams. Sorry. It's disgusting. It sounds like they're eating a fucking Krispy Kreme donut factory.
I've heard that in a couple of clips, and it's like, fucking Jesus, man. Seriously? Oh, I got allergies. I got this medical fucking this. No, the only medical problem you have is that you can't stop bending your fucking elbow and shoveling shit down your fucking gaping maw, you fat fuck.
He was responding to the undersigned's email concerning the plaintiff's initial disclosures. Thank you. I see there are no damages calculated. You filed this lawsuit, but now, see, you have to understand that what he's bitching about right in this filing. What he's bitching about right here is that he's saying you filed this lawsuit before you were prepared to, with any expert opinion or anything else to support any economic damages. You may consider this a renewed offer to withdraw your entire lawsuit because then, and you have to understand that Randy's response was right here. Counsel threatening sanctions casually or as a matter of course has no place among officers of the court. You're in a lawsuit and we are not settling. That is what he wanted. Bruce wanted a fucking settlement.
Yeah, right. Steve, no. We said this before. If I'm saying shit like this and just go, it's fine. I'm just joking around. We're having fun. This is all about, and this is part of the problem. They don't get humor. The vast majority of everybody else in here, I mean, just read through the chat. We know what this is about.
Yes.
You have to laugh at this shit. You really do.
Yes.
The stupidity, especially when, like I've said, with my experience and background, seeing and dealing with people, it is ceaselessly amazing to me, the stupidity of people. But you have to laugh at it. Even when you're dealing with situations of death. I mean, that's where gallows humor comes from, right? If you don't laugh about this shit, it will fucking eat you up.
Yes.
And so when I get animated or what have you, a lot of people like that just because I'm just going off and it just starts spewing out.
No,
if I was really pissed off, I would be saying nothing.
Quiet. You get quiet.
You would hear, you'd be hearing pins drop.
Yes.
So if I get like that, then you potentially have something to worry about. But as long as I'm just spewing the bullshit that I do and throwing insults and making jokes, everything's fine.
No. My
wife just looks at me and goes, whatever.
I've heard Yamaha. I've heard Yamaha get angry, and I'm serious. I've heard Yamaha get angry maybe once or twice, and it gets really fucking quiet, and you know that you screwed up, and you're going, yeah, I'm just gonna walk away now before the shit hits the fan.
And that just doesn't happen.
I'm gonna let him cool down. I'm just gonna let him cool down. Yeah,
Pay no attention.
You guys keep us sane with laughter. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the point.
I mean, that's what it's all about. It's just coming in here to have fun, reading. Shizzy going through and doing his literary magic here, and then me coming in because for whatever reason, because you guys like to hear me laugh or read stories or whatever, and we just like to come in here and have fun.
Yes,
because you do. You have to laugh about that shit.
Oh God, yes.
And people sit there and you go through these trials or whatever and some of the things, and there's a lot of times where I don't make comments, especially when they're talking about, well, like the one earlier on Mo. There's a lot of things that I could have gone off about that shit. For those who don't know and have no experience and get all butthurt about, oh, how could you laugh about this stuff? Oh, because you have to.
Yes.
The jokes that have been made while we're in the middle of running a code, somebody who's been burnt, blown apart, shot, you make jokes.
Yes. It's to take your mind off of the tragedy
That's
that you're dealing with right there.
Or afterwards. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And it's not something that can be explained. I can't explain it to anybody. Either you get it, you understand it, or you don't.
Yes.
That's all there is to it.
So, of course, Bruce has to give his little information insult here. Expressly requested to do so by the undersigned on 4 separate occasions, with his refusals having the counter effect of encouraging and emboldening the plaintiff to escalate his abuse of the deposition in the undersigned. Basically, he's trying to pull up his polyflop again. A copy of that transcript is filed as an exhibit with this motion, and I color-coded as follows for easy scrolling. So I've got green, which are tirades and insults, yellow, which is non-dispositive, red directs my plaintiff to Mr. Matzkin, and blue, Mr. Shockett refusing to control his plaintiff. And you forgot the white, all the shit that you left out that puts it in context. Yeah,
this is this is mind-boggling. I just can't.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. He actually filed this with the court. He actually filed this with the court. Oh. Court's order.
Again, this is why I eat crayons. I don't use them because they can be dangerous.
Yes. He says name calling, personal attacks, and obstructionist behavior has no place. And this is from the court's order of Doc 43. The document, and let's just put this into perspective, okay? Document 43 is after the deposition, okay? Document 43 is after the deposition, whenever he dragged both their asses to fucking Pensacola, and he said, we are continuing the deposition, okay? Now, all of this crap that he throws out here, I actually had to sit down and create a chart. So instead of reading all through that, would you like me to just put my analysis here for this? I even put little pins on it to make it more enjoyable. So all of his bullshit that he just filed, I broke it down really simple. Okay? I broke it down really simple for him. Here's his claim. Hales went on lengthy, non-responsive tirades, document 117, page 1. Well, the context here is Jeremy Hales repeatedly states that he needs to refer to broader context, the totality of events, to explain his answers. For example, when pressed to isolate words in paragraph 27 or a footnote that constitutes extortion, he responds that the meaning can't be distilled from a single line, as it requires context of the full situation. This is framed by Matzkin as Hale's refusing to answer and being non-responsive, rather than acknowledging Hale's reasoning that certain allegations require holistic interpretation. Other words, he said, you forgot the footnote. He said it multiple times. Bruce wants to use that as a way of saying, you're not paying enough attention to me. You're not answering my question. You've got a lengthy, non-responsive shouting tirade. We go on. Here's another claim. Shockett refused to even attempt to restrain Hales. Same document, 117, page 1. Context. At one point, Matzkin complains about Hales calling him names, and Shockett responds, do you have another question? Otherwise, I will start the cross. This does not constitute encouragement of misconduct, but standard deposition boundary setting amid tension. That's pretty clear? Another claim. Plaintiff made direct threats to Matzkin. This is document 117, page 2. Context. Much of Hale's passionate tone stems from defending himself against repeated accusations. For instance, when Matzkin asked if there were more statements from Preston or Cook beyond the signs accusing him of grape, Hales repeatedly says he would need weeks to go through all the data to confirm or deny this, rather than making threats. Claim, Shawkins and Hales emboldened misconduct, document 117. And again, he's bringing Shockett into this lawsuit. He really wants Shockett to be involved in this lawsuit.
Oh, he wants Shockett's ass to be in the same sling his is.
Exactly.
Litigant. Yep.
Context. The transcript shows Shockett attempting to maintain procedural flow, even instructing Hales when to stop or continue responses. Shockett does object occasionally to the form of the questions, but does not appear to intentionally allow or provoke Hales's behavior. Claim, statements paragraph 27, supports threats to extort. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Context. Matzkin presses Hales to identify specific words in the complaint about alleged sexual photos as threats to extort pecuniary advantage. Hales states these were false statements and leaves it to a judge or a jury to determine whether they meet the legal standard. His reluctance to label them definitively doesn't prove bad faith. It shows layperson hesitation in legal interpretation. Another claim, defendant's conduct was never questioned. Matzkin insists he was unfairly grouped into the misconduct admonishment in Doc 43. Yet the transcript reveals several contentious and escalating behaviors on both sides, including Matzkin repeatedly interrupting, editorializing questions, and making inflammatory remarks, behavior the court reasonably sought to check across all parties. Summary. Many of the passages Matzkin flags as misbehavior or support for sanctions are actually contested moments in a heated deposition, with both sides engaged tensely by cherry-picking snippets and stripping them of context. Matzkin's motions mischaracterizes tone and intent, especially regarding Hale's frustration and Shockett's attempts to maintain control. Because in all of this, he was maintaining control. Shockett was maintaining control through all of this. He wasn't misbehaving. He was acting appropriately. If Jeremy was getting heated, he was getting pissed off, look at the context of him. Look at the context of the questions that he's asking. You had called CPS before your answer on live stream. Am I right? How many times have you called CPS? You're a mandatory child abuse reporter. Oh, that's right. You don't care. You don't care. You want fame for macaroni and cheese. Oh my goodness, what a joke.
And I get it. Yeah, I mean, you get pushed into a corner and you get pushed into a corner. These things are very emotional things.
And he says
You're not
it
just
multiple
talking,
times.
Yeah, and I mean, the aggregate of everything. You know, just the process in and of itself. And then you're in a deposition across from this shitbag who has been saying, specifically with Bubbles, who was online and in emails and saying all kinds of shit. And he himself, we'd have to go back and find it. I don't have the direct quotes, but he himself basically saying, yeah, I don't really give a shit about Lynette Preston. I don't really give a shit about the kid. Blah, 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 blah.
No, I want to destroy. I want to destroy.
Right.
I want to destroy him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it, you know, I mean,
let's put this in context. Here's the question. Are you aware? I'm not telling you to name them or tell me the nature of the information. I'm just asking a yes or no question. Are there any other individuals that you're aware of that shared information with your counsel that you intend to use as evidence in court? Yes or no? And Randy says that's work product. Don't answer that either. I mean, put it into context here. You're saying what I said, which is the same thing you're doing it. Here's the question. I mean, you have to go through. This is the problem with these fucking morons, is they're cherry picking what they want to get out of this deposition, and then he's posting it as if it's some sort of big revelation, like he never read the deposition, like he wasn't there. He completely ignored every single damn thing that was said.
Well, and you see it in those clips, right? When
Yes.
he's on with the useless turds or whatever else, and he goes through and then directs them. No. Skip through all that other stuff. Just read what I highlighted. It's whatever he wants to bring forth, whatever it is that, in his view, bolsters their narrative.
Well, and I mean, I
Which
went through
is
this.
right, which goes back to what I said before. Every time these fuckers open their cock washers or drag their booger hooks across the keyboards, they're lying. Half-truths are lying. When you are trying to sweep shit under the rug, oh no, don't look at this over here, look at the shiny thing over here, you're trying to misdirect, it's all fucking lies. Every fucking time.
Well, and it's very obvious, because if and I'm not suggesting anybody do this, I'm just pointing out the obvious here. If you go onto their chat and you actually question them about where the money went, if you ask them where's the money, they'll say, oh, well, we've got the receipts, but unless you're going to donate, we're not going to show you where that money went. Unless you did donate and you say, I did donate and I want to know where my money's going, they'll ban you from their chat.
Yep. And then they shit all over you anyway.
Exactly. And this is exactly the kind of way that they react, because if you can't answer those kinds of simple questions, like where is this money going that you've been raising? All this money that you're raising for this child that you're claiming is for the safety of the child. This child has become their shield. And it's not, and people are seeing through it. They're just like that, you realize that's child abuse, because you're supposed to be the adult. You're supposed to be the guy that stands in front of that child and takes the bullet, takes the arrows, and defends them with every single bit of your body and person. You don't throw them up there as a shield to protect you.
Yep. And that's exactly what they do.
Since he couldn't get a single word answers from Jeremy Hales, he's trying to use the colors to direct the judge what he cherry picks out of context. Exactly. And this is just common fucking lawyer tactics. And the fact that he's filing a motion on this shit just shows how scared he is. He is running scared. He is a little child that cannot defend his client. He's made it very clear to everybody. Thank you, right there. That is for you. You deserve more stars, sir. Fuck naked. I love that name. That's awesome. No, this is typical behavior of him. I mean, here he is. He's complaining. Now you have to remember, the last one was November, and he's starting to throw this stuff up there as October 15th. Threat of sanctions from Mr. Shockett's legal assistant because she's beneath me. Dear Mr. Matzkin, now the court has ruled against your position on discovery. Are you available for a Zoom phone conference with Attorney Shockett regarding Rule 26 discovery? And if so, kindly provide 3 days and times within the next 10 days which you are available. Please do this within 48 hours or you will force us to seek sanctions against you. Remember, Rule 26 meeting report is due 11/12/2024. Thank you. Let's see. When is October?
That's not a threat. That's pointing out what we'll do, what their avenue is.
Yes. Thank you. And then it goes on. Well, on October 17th, 2 days later, says a second threat of sanctions from legal assistant. Dear Mr. Matzkin, thank you for responding. Your refusals to even answer emails regarding you appropriately contacting our expert witness is duly noted. This will be shown to the court. In any event, the deadline for Rule 26 conference is November 5th, 2024. I've asked you several times and you have yet to respond. Specifically, are you available by Zoom? Either way, here are the 3 dates and times for the conference. I don't see a threat for sanctions there. Do you see any threat of sanctions in that?
I don't see any threats at all. I mean, it's just basically laying out about.
It seems to me that from October 15th to October 17th, that she's reached out to him multiple times, and he's refusing to even answer emails regarding him inappropriately contacting their expert witness. So he's been contacting their expert witness.
This dude is such a fucking soy boy little fucktard. I mean, he'd get offended or take it as a threat if somebody asked him if he wanted more white rice. Oh my God, you being racist or whatever. I mean, they throw that shit around all the fucking time too. Every fucking thing is a threat or is racist or whatever.
Well, it's amazing. No, I'm looking at this and he's saying that her refusals to even answer emails regarding him. So he's been contacting their expert witness. So he's reaching out and contacting their expert witness. That's inappropriate.
Well, it's inappropriate in what he did to, who was it?
Shara?
I can't keep names. Yeah, going to people's employers.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone. I mean, it's hard to really lay it on. It would definitely be interesting to go through each piece of evidence or document that has been filed and lay out the amount of actual, real inappropriate behavior. It would be astounding. It would be astounding.
I don't have enough time in my life to do all of that.
This motherfucker wouldn't know ethics if it tap danced across his face and dick slapped him.
Well, Janice explains it perfectly here. Deuce foreskin only hears what he wants to hear. It might be the loose flap of skin that he has strapped around his head. What he wants to hear when someone talks, he listens to respond, not for understanding. Sarah Boone did the same thing and is now serving life in Florida prison for red rum. Yes, she is, because it was no different. That's why I think Sarah Boone's attorney would be perfect for this case. Just say. He would be. Oh my God.
Even with dealing with her dumbass, that dude would probably sit back and go, I'm not even touching this.
Yeah. And then, of course, he claims on November 22nd, another threat of sanctions. I'm giving you an opportunity by the close of business day today to respond to these proposed deposition dates prior to moving for sanctions against you for obvious delay, as you have not responded to those questions, but found the time otherwise to discuss non-issues, which means that there's been non-issues that he's been calling up. And it sounds to me, and that's why I'm saying he's tattling on himself throughout all of this right here. He tattles on himself. Because she's saying you're gonna force us to seek sanctions against you. That's not a threat. That's just a statement of fact. If you don't respond to us within 48 hours, we're going to have to seek sanctions against you. Yeah. And then whenever they finally
they're basically trying to get it out, advise him and let it be, I guess you could say, transparent. Hey, this is what's going to happen.
Well, and this is the reason why. Like, Bubbles doesn't like to communicate via emails. He likes to do it over the phone.
Especially with women. And especially with women who he believes are below him. Which, it appears, is the vast majority of the time.
Yes. Bruce has contacted every witness at Jeremy's. Yes. Yes, he has. Which is highly inappropriate. You're not supposed to do that. Unless you're contacting their attorney. It's okay to reach out to them and say, hey, I see that I've got a deposition for you. Do you have an attorney? If so, let me speak with your attorney. If you don't have an attorney, then that's going to be completely different. Musa Lady in chat would like an address to send. Damn it. I forgot to do that today. I'll get it up there. I will get it up there, Welsh Lady. Damn it. I know it's P.O. Box. I know it's P.O. Box 172. I just got to get the rest of the address because it's so far away from me. Just bear with me. I will get to it. Doggone it. I've been busy. I whenever I say busy, I've been busy with like 3D World stuff. So I'm sorry. I will have that out to you before I have to head out of town again. So just bear with me.
Ellen Kilo. I'm assuming I'm saying that right. Can you sing? Can Yamaha sing? Yes, I can sing opera. I can sing. No, I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
A blue bucket?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, another December 2nd preemptive threat of sanctions. Counsel, before depositions began, I just must say that I wish to remind you of this FRCP 30 at any time during our deposition on a motion of a party or the deponent, and upon showing that the examination is being conducted in bad faith or in such a manner as unreasonably to annoy, embarrass, or oppress the deponent party. The court in which the action is pending, or the court in which the district where the deposition is being taken, may order the officer conducting the examination to cease forthwith from taking the deposition, or may limit the scope and manner of taking the deposition as provided in Rule 26C. If the order made terminates the examination, it shall be resumed thereafter only upon the order of the court in which the action is pending, upon demand of the objecting party or deponent. The taking of the deposition shall be suspended for the time necessary to make a motion for an order. The provisions of Rule 37A4 apply to the award of expenses incurred in relation to the motion. Should such a motion become necessary during the deposition of my clients this week, this email will be shown to the court. So it sounds to me like what I said. Randy has contacted the court. Now, the way that you contact a court, so it's not ex parte, you actually copy the opposing counsel in the email, and you send that email out to the judge saying, Your Honor, I'm trying to get this deposition taken care of. I can't get it handled. Therefore, do you know what happened during all of this crap? Well, this would have been about the time that Randy told him the rules of taking a deposition, that if he starts acting an ass in a deposition, that he can object because he is counsel for Jeremy Hales. He can suspend it if he believes that he's acting an ass, which is exactly what he did. And that's why Bruce had to take his happy ass to Florida, is because Randy had to suspend the deposition because he was being provoked. As you understand, right here it says, showing that the examination is being conducted in bad faith or such a manner as to unreasonably annoy, embarrass, or oppress the deponent in the party. And if you're doing that kind of crap in a deposition, which we read through that deposition, and he did that quite a damn bit, the court in which the action is pending or the court in the district where the deposition is being taken may order the officer conducting the examination to cease forthwith from taking the deposition.
Which I think is what Bubbles took this from that playbook when he did that deal and tried to complain about the deposition with what's-her-face.
Exactly.
Oh, well, you had her crying about... No.
He did.
Dude. Whatever, dude.
Law Board requires Deuce Foreskin to communicate with them via email only because he twisted all the... I know, and I've shown this one, Janice. I've shown that they required him to communicate via
Yeah.
via email. I've pulled that one up multiple times. You're absolutely correct. Claim the Connecticut bar said things that they didn't. Exactly. And this is the game that he likes to play.
Yep.
And the same thing is going to happen in this case with the judge. I guarantee it.
And then especially with the fact that even when it is in writing, I mean, look at the transcripts of the emails and so forth that have been sent back and forth. And then we'll sit there and blatantly lie about it or try and deny it. So like, come on, dude. Seriously. This guy is so fucking delusional.
I like this right here. Do you see this right? This is beautiful.
Angels. Yeah. There you go.
They're calling it angel stuff. It's more like bubble wrap, you know. You just wrap that happy ass up in bubble wrap and ship it off to Albania or wherever the hell he got his mail order bride from.
No.
Another threat of sanctions on December 2nd. You are wrong. What was his response? Because see, you're all I'm seeing is Randy's responses. So this is December the 2nd that he made this message to him. And then of course, what was it? What was the bullshit that Bruce said? See, this is what I mean by, and this is the reason why I don't like having I won't go on with Darth Touch. I won't even communicate him via email. It's because everything that he does is in bad faith. He takes only and cherry picks what he wants to show you out of the communications that were had.
And if he could, who that is, I've heard reference now. I've heard it from you, Tug, but I don't even know who that is.
It's a good thing you don't know who that is, because this is a guy that likes to abuse women just almost as much as Bruce does.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what's the context of this? You're wrong because he says, okay, you're wrong about what? He says you're wrong once the deposition transcript is filed with the court. It is a public record. Oh, he must be bitching about Randy filing the deposition with the court. He didn't like it. He didn't like that at all, because then people got to see exactly. So he couldn't spin his YouTube narrative to embarrass and harass Jeremy, because then everybody got to see exactly what the deposition is. A B3 emptied his PayPal? Wonder why? Depot? Travel? No, he probably had to pay for that deposition. Don't you think, Rosalind? There's a reason why he had to get that deposition. He emptied that mother out as quickly as he could to pay for that deposition, because they were going to fine him. Thank you so much, Rosalind. No, that little fundraiser that he was running, that's exactly what it was for. He's running. No, he ain't running.
No,
that would be a bad idea.
He's panicked. He's in his death throes. He's flailing around. It's exactly what it is.
He's flailing around like a wet noodle, you know, that was left out in the sun. I'm talking about one of those wavy arm things, you know, that you see outside at car dealerships. Yeah. He says, once you're wrong, once the deposition. Well, and this is what he's saying is, once a deposition transcript is filed with the court as a public record, and because it seems you really don't do much research, or at least share any research, I will tell you that this is stated very clearly in the local rules of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Florida. Should you file a motion that disputes this, I'm advising you now that Rule 11 motion will be forthcoming. Govern yourself accordingly. That's not a threat of sanctions. He's telling you exactly what he's going to do. See, why does he think everything is a threat? It must be because he's such a wee little man.
Well, like I said, ban the soy. He's a fucking soy boy. He's a typical lefty soy boy. I mean, you're talking about the same person where the TDS runs strong with this motherfucker. Where apparently, allegedly, from, what was it, through the grapevine, he goes into, which is why you started wearing that fucking Santa hat too. He goes into a fucking restaurant or some shit and sees somebody wearing a MAGA hat or a MAGA shirt or Trump whatever, and shits himself sideways.
Okay, so hold on. Let me address this really quick. Musalady or Wise Oracle, Hug, Shizzy, and Yamaha. Shizzy, do you have an email address so I can send you info about Linet and demo money? Absolutely, I do. My email address is Shizzywhiznut, just like the name, at gmail.com. It has been for quite some time. Just let me know who you are in the email. Just say this is Moosey Lady. I believe I'm saying that right. Wise Oracle, and thank you for the $5. I appreciate you very much. But yeah, that's how you can reach out to me. Sorry, I thought you were asking for my actual mail address. I was like, oh, it's a PO box, and I don't have it set up. You can even click on my name and find my email. It's if you look, it'll show you what my email is under information or something like that.
I feel Jay Liebgott's pain. That's why I can't stand the dude all dressed in green on your little morning break when he's in there dancing. That dude pisses. He stole my moves, and he has yet to apologize.
Oh, dude, you should see that whole video. Oh, the whole video is awesome. He's dancing with like this little hottie, and she's just all about it. Oh yeah, it's awesome. He is just having the time of his life.
Oh, he's having all kinds of fun. He doesn't care. Not care in the world.
Well, that's because Levy is the same height as the wavy guy outside.
Right? Yeah.
Jeez. Levy's like 10 feet tall and thin as a rail. Threat to show communications to the magistrate. Yes. I mean, that's not a threat. That's part of what you have to do whenever somebody is like doing shit to you. These conferences need to be meaningful and substantive. And without any information, we don't agree. We will remind you again that all these communications will be shown to the magistrate should you choose to proceed further. I can tell you that your other motion has no legal basis. That much is obvious. It also appears that you've already publicly provided information about the deposition to third parties. Can you confirm that you have not discussed what happened at the deposition with anyone else other than your client? Because you have people out there saying that you've said these things to them already. So that means
he takes that shit and immediately runs to the useless turds and starts broadcasting that shit all over and or emailing out. I mean, you've seen his email thread and who he sends this shit to as well.
And somebody said something about this not too long ago, and I don't remember where I heard it, so it's probably not even true. But what I heard is that the Lees actually have recordings of the deposition. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, because that could only come from one individual that I know of.
Jeremy? Well, I'm going to blame Jeremy for it anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, sharing that shit with the Cankle twins and not with the rest of us. Shame on you, Jeremy. I blame you for it.
Everything's his fault.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, here's the thing. We don't know. All we know is that it wasn't supposed to happen. The judge said so. And because he already said, I better not see any of this shit on YouTube, any of these hearings.
Well, this is the same individual that for whatever reason, and I can't remember how it was set up or how it went or why, but whether he was sitting there with Bubbles or how he got connected to this or whatever, that allowed or for whatever reason had John Cook in there start shooting his fucking mouth off during that deposition with what's-her-face? Are you kidding me? Why the fuck is that? Number one, why is he even there? Number two, why is he even shooting his mouth off?
Because that's what he does. She says, Well, Slady,
it makes my right eye start twitching, and I get that little pain behind it when I even think about that one.
you know what? Welsh lady, she just wants to send me those nudes that I've been asking for. That's all it is. She
Well,
hasn't
you-
figured.
well,
She hasn't figured out the cell phone yet. You know that I gave her. She just.
Well, that's because you blocked her on every other ability. I mean, you just.
Well. She's so fun. She knows I'm messing with her. That's the good part about it. Oh my God. These conferences need to be meaningful and substantive. Okay. We already read that. So discussing depositions with others. He says your refusal to answer whether or not you have released details of the deposition to a third party speaks for itself. We're currently investigating, which they did. False accusation and threat to show the court. Well, that's not a false accusation. That's basically him not, and it's not a threat. He's saying, we'll show it to the court if you continue this way. We spoke for at least 2 minutes. You didn't miss a call there, buddy. To state that we didn't speak because you missed a call is an egregious misrepresentation, which will be shown to the court upon phone records showing the call was not missed. In fact, we had a substantive discussions. I just sent you an email to confirm the contents. Please respond to that email. How is that a false accusation? And how is that a threat? Threat of sanctions.
Richard Thornton. Yeah, sorry, Richard Thornton. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, as a defendant, he can be there. But I wasn't sure. I can't remember. You have to understand. I don't write this shit down. I don't.
No,
I don't go through and do the stuff like Shizzy and a bunch of other people do. I'm just trying to remember some of this off the top of my head. So I'm not sure exactly where he played a part in regards to those. I thought it was just directly relating to Lynette Preston. But if he is a defendant on that, then yeah, he can. But yeah, he can't interject at all.
Right. No, he's not allowed to.
So he shouldn't have even had access to do that.
I mean, he can cross-examine her.
Oh no, I'm talking about John Cook.
Oh no, John
Objecting
Cook
and
is not
shooting his
supposed to
mouth
say.
No, yeah,
he's not
no.
supposed to say.
He shouldn't be
gambling.
saying a fucking word in any or being involved in any way, shape, or form.
No, because that could be considered a threat of a witness. I'm serious. That could be considered a threat of a witness. See, this is the reason why if you're pulled into a deposition, you hire a freaking attorney to represent you. If you're asked,
but even then, like we said, even if you have your attorney there, they can't just continuously and arbitrarily interfere. They can make their objections for the record, which is then up for the court, the judge, and magistrate to determine later. But when you are asked these questions, unless they are under certain circumstances, actually privileged information, that might violate, for instance, say the National Security Act or potentially HIPAA or whatever,
or attorney-client
privilege, something of that nature.
Like if they ask you, well, how much are you paying your attorney? It's just like, well, that's attorney-client privilege. I can't discuss that. And your attorney, if he's worth his grain salt whatsoever, he will make sure that doesn't go on the record. He'll say, I object. That's inappropriate or whatever. Make his motion, and he'll tell him to not answer that. Like, don't answer that. That's attorney-client privilege. This is what attorneys go through college for, to actually learn what is appropriate, not appropriate, which I guess Bruce managed to fail every damn bit of that. Threat of sanctions if his deposition is noticed. Emma will provide dates. The provision of dates does not mean we agree to the deposition. In fact, as you were previously made aware, should you file a notice of taking my deposition, then Randy's talking about himself, saying if you file a notice of taking my deposition with a date that we agreed upon, it will be instantly met with a Rule 11 motion for sanctions as well as a motion for protective order. He's talking about himself because Bruce was threatening to depose Shockett. Do you understand? You don't do that. That's completely inappropriate. And Randy would move for a protective order, and the judge would grant it. Note again that our entire email string, including you unilaterally sending out a notice and scheduling a deposition without the coordination, will be pointed out to the court. This is yet another violation by you of the federal rules of procedure and the local rules. Please confirm that you no longer need any dates after being so warned. That's not a threat. That's telling him what the rules are. Threat to file a motion to compel counsel's deposition. No telephonic conferences. Counsel, this will confirm that this email will be shown to the court and that you have refused to offer dates on your deposition. I guess maybe he's talking about Randy's. No, because this would have been that deposition that was over with. So maybe he's not talking about Randy's deposition. I could be wrong on that. Because, see, here's the thing. He's only showing you the portions of the emails. He doesn't show you the other email part of the string.
Yeah.
So all of this is just a bunch of bullshit. And you think that...
Well, like I said, this is where it comes down to lies. Because if you're only telling half-truths, you're cherry-picking. You're covering shit up. You're diffusing.
It's a lie by omission.
Lies by omission. And which is why I said before, either overtly or through omission. That's all these fuckers do. That's all they do.
So he highlighted this one in red because, well, that's what he does. What is the basis in all legal jurisprudence for your motion to claim that somehow you are still responsible for a bill not sent to you? So this right here goes back to the filings yesterday, the one that the judge kicked out and struck. So and here's the thing. After reading through all of this, and I've been reading through quite a bit of this, nowhere in this and I will just say normally these things would be put in as an exhibit. But he managed to slam it all into a 13-page document that is not an exhibit. It's just him rambling over shit. So he's got a motion. Okay, think about this. And I'm not an attorney, so somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But in a motion, you usually have a motion, and then you have a reason for that motion, or some way of resolving this motion. And it's usually filed pretty quickly. And you say, this is why we're going to say that. Right here at the very beginning, he just has some crap thrown in there. And he has nothing except for pointing out that he's got a second group of bullshit. So why, and I'm just curious, why through all of this crap that he has no relief in here? There's no relief from this. It's just it's an exhibit. This should have been filed as a separate exhibit. And I hope Randy points it out. It's just like, yeah, I don't know what all this is, and I don't think I should respond to any of this because it's incoherent. And it's the incoherent ramblings of a mad person.
Yeah, exactly. He is a petulant teenage girl throwing a temper tantrum, and well, look, it's not just me, or it's not my fault. Oh, it's Jeremy, it's Randy too, or whatever else. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing. He's just throwing a little temper tantrum that has nothing to do with anything, and was not getting to the point of what he was ordered to do.
Yeah, I mean, and right here, counsel, please advise of your availability over the next 4 business days. I plan on filing a motion to compel better responses. And which he did. He did file a motion to compel responses from the judge. And then he said, I want to file a Rule 11 motion for sanctions because you're being uncooperative. I am trying to get this resolved. I am trying to get your information. I am trying to depose these people. I'm trying to get this from you. And you keep on harassing me and not responding to it, or just writing bullshit. And And I know why he's doing it, because he knows he's freaking lost. He knows that this case is lost. He knows that if he shows that information, he knows that those records are going to show where Lynette was at that point in time.
It's the panic death throes.
Exactly.
Exactly what it is.
He knows that all of the garbage, all of the defamation that she's committed is going to be shown if he gives up that information. He'll be damned if he's going to give up that information. He's in a panic right now. And it goes to show, I mean, through all of this, I mean, his complaints are saying these are threats of sanctions. These are just saying, I'm going to have to file a motion to compel if you don't fucking respond. God. Counsel, we disagree with your premise. Should you disagree, we'll be forced to file sanctions as well. So what's the context of this? I mean, from February to March, you're telling me that there was no communication. We're only seeing one side of this story, and this one side is horrible. And of course, he tries to throw in here, which he should have had this all as an exhibit because he's a dumbass. He didn't know how to do that. Mr. Shockett's emails evince bad faith towards opposing counsel and the defendants because you're acting in bad faith, moron. The court's order warning of severe sanctions, Doc 43. The emails, together with Mr. Shockett's deposition behavior, far exceed what would minimally qualify as sanctionable conduct until you put it into context, just like we put all of those little crayon marks that you scribbled all over a damn piece of paper for. Once you put it into context, it becomes very clear what Jeremy said, what the attorney said, what you said. You know, if you're going to sit there and cherry pick stuff out, all you're doing is making yourself look bad. And I don't see that the judge is going to take this very kindly. I really don't. I don't see the judge as looking at this in a very enlightening way. And then he says, Mr. Shock is filing 96 without any pre-filing 7. See, here he is again with that 7-1B conference. A 7-1B conference. He's communicating to you through email and you're being unresponsive or you're being an asshat. Preventing the undersigned from attempting to reason with him by noting all his many troubling emails with threats, accusations, insults directed at the undersigned that would become the subject of this motion. A conference may thus have avoided both plaintiff's motion and the present one. He tried, you dumbass. If I'm reading these emails correctly, it sounds to me like he said your responses are inappropriate. What you have filed is completely inappropriate. If you keep this crap up, we're gonna ask the court for sanctions because clearly we're working with someone that's completely unhinged on the opposite side. Yeah, let's see. Look at this. Various motions have a set structure and format, template, depending on the state. They are very templated. Yes, that's what I'm pretty sure because I mean I've filed enough motions and filings that a lot of it's just cut, copy, and paste. I mean, you're basically filling in the name, you're filling out the property information, because I file a lot of quiet titles and crap like that. So it's very templated. I mean, you have to have very specific things in there, and you have to reread it, make sure that you're not like telling people the wrong parcel ID and crap like that. So I mean, they're very
like
templated.
Square bullet points and writing Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
Square bullet
Look at my
points.
pretty crayon colors, Your Honor.
You can't unclown bubbles.
I love my rainbows.
So here, let's see what his conclusion is. Let's see if I can get his voice right. So based on the foregoing, the defendants request this court issue monetary sanctions concerning frustrating with the amount of time and resources the defendant's counsel and the court have been forced to expend due to Mr. Shawkett's actions. Dismissal of the plaintiff's actions with prejudice and disciplinary proceedings not only for the conduct detailed in this motion, but for all the misrepresentations and false statements made in filings have been pointed out in prior motions, and the abuse of discovery and depositions for harassment. If this court dismisses the plaintiff's action, it should also grant the defendant's request for an order under FRCP 41A2 Doc 111 without prejudice, in which this case the defendants will voluntarily dismiss counterclaims count 1 under this bullshit. And you know what time it is?
Oh,
It is.
Are we
It
in
is
for another
time.
letter? Oh,
It is time for that.
I so
All
much
right.
love letters.
All right, everybody, strap in, buckle up. I should play that little intro before I do this, shouldn't I? I should totally play.
Oh,
it.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Right
play
on
the
that.
little
Some may
intro.
not have-
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Open letter to Bruce, the litigation larper Matzkin, by Shizzywhiznut, defender of context, slapper of nonsense.
And the ass. Sorry, what did I say that out loud? Damn it.
Bruce Bubbles, the beige banshee of Malden. Once again, you've belly flopped into federal court with another flaming pile of procedural performance art, this time titled Motion to Dismiss under FRCP 41B and for sanctions. A document so hysterically overblown, I half expected it to end with a curtain call and your Venmo for standing ovations. Let's be real, Brucey. This wasn't a legal filing. This was a tantrum in paragraph form. A screaming Yelp review from a man who got kicked out of the courtroom buffet for stuffing his ego into the breadbasket. And now you want the whole case dismissed because Jeremy Hales didn't answer your questions or your phone calls like the little teenage girl you are, the way you fantasized he would in your wildest, most self-righteous fevered dreams. Oh no. He spoke in full sentences. He gave context. He dared to defend himself. And instead of cross-examining like a competent adult, you stomped your tiny little leprechaun-like feet and cried, "Rule 41B! He made me feel small."
So small.
Let's dissect your greatest hits from document 117, shall we? Claim. Lengthy, non-responsive shouting tirades. Translation. Jeremy Hales refused to boil down years of complex social media warfare into bite-sized slogans you could spin out of context in your next motion. What you call tirades, the transcript reveals as complete, reasoned answers. You just didn't like the direction they took, mostly because they didn't end with him sobbing. "You're right, Bruce. It was me all along. I knew it was you, Fredo." You weren't looking for answers. You were fishing for sound bites. Out on another little boat. And when you didn't get them, you screamed foul like a toddler whose Happy Meal didn't come with a toy.
Well,
Claim.
another claim.
Direct threats to you, Bruce Matzkin, Escuela. I'll just say Escuela because
Escuela.
it's about as legitimate. Let me translate what actually happened. A grown man refused to cower to your courtroom cosplay. He got heated. He pushed back. But threats? Real threats? Brucey, Don't flatter yourself. No one was trying to throw hands. They're just tired of your whiny barrage of cheap theatrics and procedural spam. If you think that was threatening, you might want to avoid actual depositions and real litigation. Or stay off the playground because those kindergartners would kick your ass. Your skin is thinner than your legal reasoning, you soy-filled moron. Claim. Shockett refused to control his client. You mean when he said, "Do you have another question?" while you were flailing? That's called keeping things moving. What he didn't do was grandstand or cry for mommy. Unlike you, he didn't try to turn a routine deposition into a dramatic one-man off-Broadway production.
No.
Shockett didn't lose control. He just didn't play your game of theatrical gaslighting. Get the fuck over it.
Oh, yeah.
Highlighting the transcript? Seriously.
Oh, yeah. This is glorious.
Color coding the transcript like a middle school book report doesn't prove your point. It proves your desperation. Green for tirades, yellow for non-responsive, red for threats. Brucey, you're highlighting a deposition or... Wait a minute. Oh, are you highlighting a deposition or building a Mario Kart ramp? Yeah, no shit. Here we go! Maybe next time, just circle your own name in purple and write, "Poor me," in Comic Sans. It'd be more honest.
Oh, yes. The document number 43.
Yes. You're misreading, now in 4K. Let's talk about that delicious little court order, doc number 43. The one you keep waving around like it exonerated you. Here's a newsflash. It didn't. The judge said everyone needs to behave. And for good reason. Because while you were busy accusing others of misconduct, you were right there interpreting, editorializing, escalating, and condescending like an overcaffeinated substitute teacher who just discovered the mute button doesn't work on grown-ups.
Works on me.
You do that to yourself all the time. Yeah.
Ask me how many times I boomer in a day.
You weren't an innocent bystander. You were a chaos engine. And doc number 43 was the court's not-so-subtle way of saying, "Brucey, sit down. You keep filing the same garbage. Let's not forget the elephant in the room." Well, or two, or however many others that you may look at for that.
4. We're working on 5.
You already filed a version of this exact motion, and it bombed hard. It landed like an iron balloon on a cement floor. The court didn't even humor you with a long denial. It just moved on like a bouncer ignoring a drunk guy yelling, "I know the owner." Yet here you are again, reheating the same old bullshit, the same cold oatmeal argument and slapping a new label on it. That's not advocacy. That's litigation Groundhog Day, and you're playing Bill Murray without the charm of self-awareness. Yeah, no shit. You're not litigating. You're LARPing. Every filing you make now drips with performative outrage. You're not arguing law. You're auditioning for a part in your own imagined miniseries, The Martyrdom of Bubbles, the one man's fight against context. Tune in at 8. You cite 28 U.S.C. 1927 like it's your personal security blanket. But Brucey, when you're the one multiplying the proceedings with junk motions, out-of-context quotes, and performative legal cosplay, maybe it's time someone files under 1927 against you. Clean your own house. Let's tally up. You've accused opposing counsel of tampering, obstructing, insulting, and conspiring. You've cried about sanctions more times than a toddler fakes a stomachache to get out of gym class. Yeah, no shit. I can't go to school today either. You've tried to extort Zella payments over transcript invoices that weren't owed, then still filed motions about it when you were caught lying. And now, of course, you think you're the victim? No. You're just the loudest one in the courtroom who can't stand that one. Oh, you're just the loudest one in the courtroom who can't stand that no one's buying your shtick anymore. Final thought, Brucey. You're not being targeted. You're being tolerated. Just barely. If you want the court to take you seriously, start by filing something that isn't bloated with passive-aggressive footnotes, irrelevant accusations, and bitter man-child energy. Because right now, you're not practicing law. You're just playing a lawyer in a sandbox of your own design and wondering why the adults keep stepping over you. So drop the soy and step away. Love, Shizzywhiznut, defender of context, destroyer of color-coded delusions, unlicensed therapist for fragile litigators everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
I still have the music playing. That's so glorious.
I know.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got my hair cut today. I feel much better. It was starting to get scruffy on me.
Yeah,
Well,
you
whenever-
freaking hippie.
Well, yeah, because whenever it starts to get long, it starts getting all wavy and it starts all like doing all kinds of funky stuff.
You look like Elijah Wood, or I was
Well-
going to be mean when that first popped up and go, "Oh yeah, Gollum." Now I know who you're talking about. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Gollum. Yeah, exactly. No, my wife, she hates looking at those pictures because she's got like very straight hair. She was like, she curls it and like 5 minutes later it just goes whoof, right
goes
back
whoof.
down. And she's like, I hate it. I hate it. I was like, oh, I would have loved to have just straight hair because there's nothing like waking up after a long night of partying. I'll just put it that way, and it's all like in a tangle on
You
like
got
the
your
side of
bed
your
head?
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Lots of bad head. Let's just put it that
Oh,
way.
it was rough last night, and my cornhole hurts. I'm just kidding. Why's my ass so sore?
But I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what was in my
I
drink.
don't remember
last night?
anything after the third drink.
No, that was the third bottle, dude. What's wrong? You didn't know that was a dude?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's so bad. Oh God.
She's hot, and I love that lump in her throat. She just must be nervous.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Jeez, the video earlier had me thinking of George Clooney and Dapper Dan hair products.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. Dapper Dan hair products. I love it. Damn it, Beavis. Damn it, Beavis.
And stay out of the Woolworths.
Oh, this is the, and I mean, I could probably go through that more thoroughly, the whole case, but it's just so full of bullshit.
Oh, it's the beating of the same dead horse over and over again. The same drive and bullshit.
No, it's not a horse. It's a whole freaking horse ranch.
Yeah.
And they've just been, I mean, here,
It's just I still 300 and what pay? Whatever. It's mind-boggling.
that he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
And
you got
some
like I
days-
said,
some
you got to
days-
laugh.
some
You got to
days-
laugh because it's just like
Some days I feel like this guy
oh,
right
it's
here.
never ceasing.
I got to show you this because I saw this today, and I'll probably show it again tomorrow. I can't remember if I'm on Moe's or over here tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Friday. Oh,
Yeah, tomorrow is Friday morning,
Yeah.
and I don't know where I'm going to be. I can't remember if it's on mine. That's not a big deal. I can set that up. But if it's on Moe's, then I need to know. I guess. But it reminds me of this right here. Why is it doing that? Why is it acting so messed up? Can you hear it?
no,
Can you hear it? No.
no, it's paused
No.
right now.
Well, but could you hear it?
No,
Okay. I screwed up something. Never mind.
no.
It wasn't worth it. It was basically this guy doing work on a pipe, and he was like, "What the hell? You're complaining? I don't understand." I did show this one today. You want to see it?
Bubbles likes getting it's apropos. We didn't really need anything for that. Bubbles likes getting his little pipe tweaked.
Speaking of getting your pipe tweaked, let me show you this. Present share screen. Here we go.
Yeah.
Newcastle County, Delaware.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
He's just like, what are y'all laughing at?
What y'all laughing at? I don't get it. Bend it the other way. Sprung a leak. Yes. Yes. But Bubbles tells the judge he does not have checks. Oh, well, I bet the judge don't care.
When you get that excited over a news report, it's time for a bladder sling.
You caught me mid-drink, you
I
bastard.
know. Well, I almost did the cock garbling, but whatever. I don't want you to choke. There's nothing I can do for you but sit there and watch you flop around if you start choking and end up with, inspirational pneumonia.
Asshole. I love it. No sock curl money for you.
He looks pretty doing his little fish imitation, but there ain't a damn thing I can do for him.
Let's mock him, and hopefully he'll come too. I can imagine you doing that. It's like whenever he starts breathing again, he'll wake up.
Yeah.
Just keep the stream going until then.
You're close enough to just bang your head against the wall. That might help knock it loose. I can't do anything. If you can hear me.
If you can hear me, stop waving your hands around.
Beat your head against the wall.
Oh. BBB has a collection of gift cards to take to the
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I love that. I can imagine him showing up with a bunch of Lowe's gift cards.
What do you mean I can't pay my fines with these? They're good at any Lowe's.
Got these from a couple of fat checks.
Your Honor, do you need a new toilet? I got some gift cards here. my checking account were shit.
Oh, I can't open it. I can't open a checking account because my credit's so shot.
Or it's,
Oh,
hanging out on some island somewhere.
oh. Oh. Shizzy needs to send all the letters to the judge when this is over. Betty would love that. And he would probably like, who's this asshole? Send him one every day.
If I invest in the Bank of Bikini Atoll, they can't touch it, right?
Oh, I would
I
have
like to go to
judge.
Bikini Atoll just for my own vacations.
Let,
It's always so warm.
let's put it this way: if I if I sent letters to the judge, I better not take my ass to Florida ever, because I have to go through the Northern District. He'd probably find me. He'd be like, "Oh, you're that guy that was sending me all those letters. I got words for you, asshole." Oh, I love you too so much. My side hurts, and you need to try to.
I,
Well, I can help you with your side, but I can't help you with the type. I have a long tongue, just not that long. People will be made in blue buckets full of gift cards. Well, if they're coming
There
from
you go.
Lynette,
Yeah.
they're gonna be gift cards. Oh God. Oh, I hurt so much now. Oh yeah, but BB, you don't have no cash, so credit card at least will pay the judge. BB, you can pay the credit card company or not. No, that's not how it works. I'm serious. That's not how it works. The judge the judge will can put liens on your property. He's a federal judge. Okay. You're not messing with like a circuit court judge or a state court judge or magistrate judge. You're dealing with a federal court judge. You have to understand, when a federal court judge isn't something that you just sort of fall into. That's not how it happens. It requires a little bit of intelligence, a lot of schooling, and a lot of really good maneuvering to get into those positions. Federal court judges are usually appointed. That means that you've got some pull and some connections, and you also don't tolerate bullshit. You're not like a judge to Thomas. You're not like that, where you taught law school because
I don't know about that. We've seen some pretty questionable federal judges too. So.
well they are, but they also have a lot of freaking pull.
Yeah, right.
They may be questionable. They may not always be the smartest judges, but they've busted their ass to get in those positions. And any judge that's sitting here dealing with this kind of crap, he would be, good. Yeah, federal judge wields a good amount of power. Yeah. And I'm telling you that Bubbles messing around with this judge like this is not going to end well for him. If
especially from any judge,
lawyer.
really, from any judge, really, but especially from a federal court judge.
Yeah,
he decides to send a little love letter of his own to the Connecticut State Bar.
Yeah.
And or Massachusetts. Either way, it only really need to go with one. I mean,
well, you can go.
Connecticut's already got their own thing, but
you can put it out to a lot of different judges.
Right.
Anywhere that
but
Bubbles
what I'm
goes.
saying is that definitely holds a lot of sway. That definitely holds a lot of weight, and can have significant consequences.
Yes.
Moreover than just somebody's former client or even being bombed by the general public, if you will, with bar complaints.
Well, right here, if you get some monetary sanctions, who's responsible for them? He is. If the judge puts sanctions on a lawyer or anything like that, that is on the lawyer. That is not his client that has to pay for those. It's the same way as, whenever you get a drunk driving ticket, the passenger doesn't get the ticket. You're the driver, you get the ticket. That's the thing. They're passengers in his shit show. They hired him to do a job, and him not doing a job. And like I said, I think he wants off this case. I think he wants it to. He's got his ass handed to him so many times. that he doesn't see any end in sight of this happening, because it wasn't easy like he thought it was going to be, because he was big and bolstering. He was very loud and proud, saying, well, you'll just see, I will bring this guy down to his knees. I'm going to make him suffer, and he's going to beg. He's going to want to settle, and I'm not going to settle. He's going to want to settle this thing. Nobody with this kind of pull, he wants to waste their time with this kind of stuff. He'll settle. He'll settle.
Just like Lynette President. That's what she'd been saying all along, banking on all along. Just time to settle. And they thought that was going to happen.
Yep. And now they're in now they're suffering. They're suffering the ignorance of fools.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fools of ignorance, something like that. They're suffering. Let's put it that way. And I mean, and you know, granted, the judge is a little angry with he is a little bit angry with the Shockett too. But I think that whenever Randy is able to show his side of this bullshit, and say, Judge, I'm having to respond to it. I can't let this kind of stuff go on the record. His lies, and here's the proof that these are lies, that the judge might feel a little bit differently about all of this.
Well, and when you let stuff like that slide, it sets a dangerous precedent, because it is defying the authority of the court. And if you just let it go, then people get this idea that they can just get away with whatever. And
correct.
There is a certain line that has to be reached. Some come to that line before others, but there is a line that once that line is hit, you have to bring the hammer down. If nothing else, just on the principle of it, because you can't have that authority, you can't have that rule of law compromised or mocked or what have you. Take away its legitimacy.
So Paula Broadwith says, no, Shizzy, he wants off because he doesn't need to promote his own case since he goes in front of the bar in May. He doesn't need the case anymore for promotion. And Kay owes and he knows there's no money. Yeah. That could be a possibility. Or there could be a possibility he's a straight up guide. He's all in it for helping his client. That could, that's what his job is as an attorney, is to do that. But you know what? I think you guys need the calming, relaxing goat stream. That's where I'm sending you guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free. It's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen. Caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny. So grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Pop a nut, Shizzy daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Pop a nut, Shizzy daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Pop a nut, shizzy daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's. Agenda will see me tomorrow, same obsession, same effing thing.
Let's go get crazy.